beautiful piece in your home isn't brand new, but something forgotten, worn, and waiting for a second chance. In today's video, we're transforming thrifted finds into timeless treasures with the warmth of English cottage decor, the soul of antique farmhouse furniture, and the cozy charm of a collected home. If you love thrift flips, vintage decorating ideas, cottage-style interiors, and homes that feel layered, lived in, and deeply personal, then stay right here, because this makeover is full of inspiring details you won't want to miss. And before we begin, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and tell me in the comments, are you more English cottage or farmhouse at heart? Here's the secret that so many stylish homes already know. Timeless interiors are rarely built in one shopping trip. They're collected, curated, loved over time. That's exactly why thrifted home decor, vintage furniture flips, and antique farmhouse styling feel so rich and soulful. There's a quiet elegance in pieces that carry age, texture, and story. In this video, I'm showing you how to turn secondhand furniture into a cozy, elevated English cottage-inspired home without losing the authenticity that makes old pieces so special. We're talking beautiful patina, soft rustic finishes, floral layers, warm woods, and styling that feels like it came straight out of a countryside dream. And trust me, the best transformation is still ahead. Before we start flipping furniture, let's set the mood. English cottage decor is all about comfort, character, softness, and charm. It doesn't chase perfection. It embraces beauty in the collected, the imperfect, and the meaningful. Think layered textiles, warm wood tones, floral prints, brass accents, antique mirrors, open shelving, and furniture that feels inherited rather than purchased. Community discussions around cottage styling often emphasize darker woods, floral pattern layering, and antique brass as key markers that separate true cottage charm from generic modern farmhouse looks. In this makeover, we're blending that romantic cottage feeling with antique farmhouse furniture ideas to create a home that feels timeless, cozy, and effortlessly welcoming. One of the most exciting parts of creating a timeless home is learning how to see potential where others see old. When I walk into a thrift store, antique market, or flea market, I'm not just looking for pretty pieces. I'm looking for shape, craftsmanship, texture, and possibility. A scratched side table might have beautiful lines. A faded chair might have the perfect silhouette. A forgotten hutch might become the most charming focal point in the room. When shopping for thrifted English cottage decor, I always look for solid wood, curved legs, vintage hardware, turned spindles, rich grain, and pieces with history. That's where the magic begins because timeless design often starts with a second look. Every room needs a hero piece, and for this transformation, that usually means one standout item that anchors the entire story of the space. Maybe it's a vintage dresser, an antique farmhouse sideboard, a spindle chair, or a beautifully worn console table. The key is choosing a piece that feels substantial and soulful. Older furniture often has the craftsmanship that newer mass-market pieces simply can't replicate, which is exactly why antique furniture flips have become such a beloved part of cozy home decor and vintage home styling. Instead of replacing furniture every few years, we're giving it a future. And honestly, there's something incredibly satisfying about rescuing a piece and letting it become beautiful again. Now let's get into the transformation process, because this is where old furniture begins to reveal its potential. Before any paint or stain goes on, I always start by cleaning thoroughly, tightening joints if needed, and gently sanding just enough to refresh the surface without erasing all of its story. That's such an important balance in furniture flipping for farmhouse decor. You want the piece to feel renewed, not stripped of its soul. Little imperfections can actually be part of the charm. Tiny dings, worn corners, faded finishes, those details help create that authentic English cottage home feeling. This stage may not be the flashiest, but it's what gives the final reveal that polished, professional, high-end look. This is always one of the most exciting decisions in any thrift flip makeover. Do we paint it, or do we let the wood speak? If the grain is beautiful, warm, and full of character, I often lean toward restoring and staining. But if the piece needs a fresh identity, paint can completely transform it. For English cottage decor ideas, soft creams, muted sage, dusty blue, warm taupe, mushroom, and aged white are all gorgeous choices. For a more antique farmhouse look, I love earthy neutrals and weathered finishes that feel collected over decades. The goal is never trendy for the sake of trendy. It's always timeless. Ask yourself, does this finish make the piece feel like it belongs in a storybook cottage? Now we get to the part that really brings the cottage magic to life, the finish. One of the reasons antique farmhouse furniture feels so beautiful is because it never looks too new, too glossy, or too perfect. It has softness, depth, a lived-in elegance. So when I finish a thrifted piece, I often use subtle distressing, dark wax, matte top coats, or layered finishes that mimic age in a believable way. The goal isn't to make it look fake old, it's to enhance the feeling that this piece has gracefully evolved over time. That's what gives a home that timeless, collected atmosphere people instantly feel when they walk in and think, this is so cozy. If you ever want a budget-friendly decorating secret, here it is. Never underestimate the power of hardware. Swapping out knobs and pulls can completely shift the personality of a thrifted furniture piece. Suddenly, a plain old dresser becomes an heirloom-inspired statement. A forgotten cabinet turns into cottage perfection. For this style, I love antique brass, aged bronze, porcelain knobs, and vintage-inspired cup pulls, details that feel warm, storied, and quietly elegant. Cottage-style enthusiasts consistently point to brass and darker, richer finishes as more authentic to traditional cottage interiors than stark modern black hardware. It's such a small change, but it adds so much visual richness and gives your DIY furniture flip that beautifully finished, designer look. Once the piece is flipped, the real artistry begins, styling. This is where your thrifted furniture stops being just furniture and becomes part of a whole mood. To style an English cottage farmhouse piece, I love layering with old books, ceramic pitchers, brass candlesticks, framed vintage art, woven baskets, small lamps, and a little greenery or dried florals. The trick is to create softness and variation without cluttering the piece. You want it to feel curated, not crowded. Think of styling as visual storytelling. Every object should add warmth, texture, or nostalgia. When done right, Even the simplest thrift flip can feel elevated, intentional, and worthy of the coziest cottage home tour. If furniture is the structure of an English cottage interior, textiles are the soul. This is where the room begins to feel truly warm, inviting, and lived in. I'm talking floral cushions, gathered curtains, vintage quilts, lace details, soft throws, gingham, ruffles, linen, faded stripes, and layered rugs underfoot. Recent design coverage continues to highlight nostalgic prints like ditzy florals, checks, and heritage-inspired patterns as part of the renewed cottage and farmhouse mood. These fabrics don't just decorate a space, they soften it emotionally. They make a room feel like a retreat. If you want your home to feel less like a showroom and more like a sanctuary, this is one of the most powerful steps in the entire decorating process. Color is everything when you're building a home that feels calm, timeless, and deeply cozy. For this look, I love a palette rooted in nature. Warm creams, soft taupe, muted green, faded rose, dusty blue, buttery ivory, weathered brown, and antique gold. These shades feel especially beautiful when layered with wood tones and vintage textures. Instead of high contrast or trendy starkness, we're creating harmony and softness. And that's such an important part of Cottagecore home decor and farmhouse decorating ideas. The room should feel like it's gently embracing you. When your color palette is warm and intentional, even a small thrifted piece can feel elevated, luxurious, and perfectly at home. One of the biggest mistakes people make with antique-inspired decor is thinking everything has to be old. It doesn't. In fact, one of the best ways to make English cottage decor feel fresh and livable is by mixing old and new beautifully. A thrifted dresser can sit beneath a newer lamp. An antique table can hold a modern vase of garden flowers. A vintage chair can be paired with fresh linen drapery. That contrast is what keeps the room from feeling heavy or dated. Homes feel more layered and cozy when they include vintage and artisanal pieces rather than only mass-produced items, according to recent interior design commentary. That balance is what makes the finished space feel timeless instead of theme-based. Some of the most beautiful homes aren't just decorated well, they tell a story. That's why I love creating little story corners throughout a room. A reading nook with a floral chair and old books. A hallway console with antique frames and a thrifted lamp. A kitchen shelf with ironstone, baskets, and vintage cutting boards. These tiny moments are what make a home memorable. They slow the eye down. They invite people in. And they create the feeling that your space has been lovingly collected over time. If you're decorating with thrifted home finds and antique farmhouse accents, don't just think about the room as a whole. Think about the intimate corners that make someone want to linger. There's a reason so many people are drawn to English cottage style, vintage farmhouse decor, and thrifted home makeovers right now. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about emotion. In a fast, disposable world, people are craving spaces that feel rooted, warm, and meaningful. They want homes with texture, memory, and comfort. They want rooms that feel soulful rather than sterile. That's why flipping old furniture can feel surprisingly emotional. It's not just a DIY project. It's an act of restoration. You're taking something overlooked and making it beautiful again. And honestly, that kind of decorating has a depth and humanity that trends alone can never replicate. If this makeover is inspiring you to look at old furniture in a whole new way, I'd love for you to be part of this cozy decorating community. Subscribe if you love home decor ideas, thrift flips, English cottage decorating, farmhouse styling, and timeless room transformations that make home feel truly special. And if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps support the channel and lets me know you want more transformations like this. Most importantly, tell me in the comments, what's the best thrifted piece you've ever found, or what piece are you dreaming of flipping next? I read your comments, and they always make this space feel even more like home. So as we finish today's transformation, I hope this video reminds you that beauty doesn't always come brand new. Sometimes the most meaningful, charming, and unforgettable pieces are the ones with a little wear, a little history, and a lot of potential. That's the heart of English cottage decor and the soul of an antique farmhouse furniture flip, creating a home that feels warm, layered, personal, and timeless. A home that welcomes. A home that tells a story. A home that feels beautifully lived in. Thank you so much for decorating with me today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who loves cozy cottage charm, and I'll see you in the next one.